All right, y'all. I am back. This is my last video tonight. I've been on for a while with y'all today, and I'm about to go watch the back of my eyelids in a little bit. So, anyway, we are going to be talking about right now Below Deck Season 6, Episodes 16, 17, and the reunion, y'all. Okay. So, if you are new here, I am Shay Renee. We talk about food, fitness, and mainly reality TV on this channel. So, sit back, relax while we talk about Below Deck Med Season 6. All right. So on episode 16, Lloyd is sent to shore because his blood pressure was high. He was having a little bit of a panic attack because he's had a lot on his mind about the season ending. And he's really forged like a really good relationship with everybody on the boat. So I think he's having a little bit of anxiety about what's going to happen with him once this charter season ends. And frankly, if he's going to have a damn job after this is all over. So I think that really got to him, and his blood pressure went up. And so Captain Sandy wanted to make sure he was okay. So she sent him to shore to get checked out. So that left 3 deckhands. Now they're down a person on the deck, and they already was down a person on the interior because Katie made that dumbass decision to let Delaney leave. Okay. Now here's my thing. I understand that Delaney was green or whatever the case may be, but it don't take a rocket scientist to help with laundry. She could have helped somewhere. Just having two people to run a boat for a charter, like for the charters to come on, and they're very demanding. I think that was just a poor decision, but we'll get into that later on. So Malia makes it clear to her crew that they need to focus on what they need to do first before helping the crew on the interior, which I understand because she's like, listen, we have a job to do. I didn't make the decision to let Delaney go and for y'all to just be two people. That was really not a good decision, but I'm not going to suffer because of your poor leadership skills. And I get it. Usually I don't agree with Malia, but I think that this is good insight. So anyway, Jamel Hill, which I actually love Jamel Hill. Like I really love that she's an African American woman in the sports industry, and I really love her personality. Like she's just very like matter of fact and I said what I said type of person, and I just love that about her. So I was excited to see that she was the charter that was getting on the boat. So her and her husband and her friends and Deborah Winans, which is actually she played Charity on Greenleaf, which is was a show on the Oprah Winfrey Network that I really love too. So I was excited to see her too. So they got on the boat and they were basically like, listen, we need a lot of clothes steamed and we want lots of drinks and we're very particular about our food. So I hope y'all ready for us. So I love how they kind of like laid it out right then and there. These are our expectations. And we expect all of that because we paid a pretty good penny to be up on this boat. So I listen, I don't want no excuses. And I get it. If they've paid their money, the service should not fall short because Katie made stupid decisions by not having enough people on the team to help her. So anyway, Matt is super nervous because Sandy criticized him on the previous charter because she said that he put too much of the dark meat of the fish on the plate. And it really didn't taste good. So he just kept having flashbacks of that and feeling like, oh my God. And he's the type of person that he needs somebody to basically damn near jack him off and make him feel good the whole time to make him think that he's doing well. And I'm like, sir, you got to get over that. Okay. Constructive or criticism of whatever kind is going to be a part of this job. It is what it is. You have to know how to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and just keep it moving. Okay. Everybody is not going to stroke your ego throughout the whole process. It is what it is. And that's only going to make you better. And until he sees it that way, he always going to be manic about every damn thing. So Katie tells Matt, so basically Jamel said the food was good, but the fish was bland after he served the first meal to the charter guests. Said the fish was bland, and Katie was worried because she didn't want to have to tell Matt because you got to stroke this man's ego for all the time, and she already got enough shit going on with her not having enough people on her own team, even though it was because of her own doing. But she's like, I just can't add that as another layer of foolishness on my plate of fuckery. Okay. So then so Katie tells Matt, and he's feeling sorry for himself like she thought he would, and saying he's sorry he ruined the charter. I'm like, oh my God, Matt, you're so damn dramatic. Then he goes down in laundry whining to Courtney. So the guests get in the hot tub and get on the jet skis. Matt prepares for dinner and he wants to make sure that he uses more seasoning this time. Listen, Matt, you dealing with black folk. We don't want no bland ass food. Okay. I want to be able to taste my food not in its original state, if that makes sense. If I wanted to get some fish out of the ocean and just cook it and eat it without no seasoning, no, I don't want that. Where is the seasoning? Find you some Old Bay. Find you some garlic seasoning. Find something. But don't give me no bland food. I can't stand it. And if you have a good sauce, add that on the side too. Black people food, one on one. Look it up. Anyway, it's going to be their so it's going to be their first anniversary because Jamel and her husband have now been married almost a year at this point. So Matt is going to be making their anniversary dinner. So Matt made butter poached lobster and filet mignon, and the guests loved it. They all came and sat down. Of course, after they had been jet skiing and doing all this stuff, they got all dressed up. Everybody was wearing all white. Sat down at the dinner table, and when Jamel saw what it was, she was like, wow, this is the same meal we had at our wedding. And she was like, there is no way they would have known that. So that gave Matt some more brownie points because it was good and it was actually the meal that they had at their wedding. So I think that was really nice. So Jamel tells Katie they're going to be up for a while because she like, listen, we on a boat. We going to take advantage of it. We about to be up. And if I know black people like I know black people, we going to be up playing some cards. We going to be drinking. We just going to be building all the camaraderie and having a good old time. And that's exactly what they did. They were up all freaking night. I don't think they went to bed at like 4:10. So Katie didn't go to bed till 4:32 a.m. and she had to get right the hell back up at 8:30. I bet you will never, ever, ever, ever give up some help again. I know Lexi was a tyrant, but I would have dealt with Delaney. I'm sorry. So the next day ain't doing no better because it's a rainy day. So on rainy days, when you have charters on the boat, it's nothing for them to do off of the boat. So now you have to entertain them on the boat. So Katie running off of less than 4 hours of sleep. Now you got to be running on fumes to be entertaining them throughout the day and constantly running for the guests all day. So that is going to prove to be very draining for her. So the guests get up, they eat breakfast. They like the breakfast that Matt made, so that was good for the day. The guests play golf and they're hitting balls into the water. The crew discovers Z is a great golfer because his mom actually used to be a professional golfer, and he's been playing since he was 7 years old. So the deck crew is entertaining the guests, and everything's going well. So Sandy finally talks to Lloyd about Lloyd comes back on the boat and Sandy pulls him to the side and talks about his panic attack. And he says it happens towards the end of charter seasons usually because he gets anxious about what's going to happen next. And while inside, the guests are betting on. So Katie is inside getting drinks while Lloyd is out here talking to Captain Sandy. And they're all placing bets on her forgetting what their drink order was because it was about 11 of them ordering drinks. But Katie, she got the drink order down. She didn't have to write it down because they were like, you need to write this down because it's a lot of drinks and a lot of stuff. And I don't want my drink messed up. So she got everybody drink order well. She did it right. All was good in the hood. So the guests asked the crew to do a talent show for them before dinner. And Lloyd does jokes, Z juggles golf balls, Malia does a handstand, and David jumps over his leg. And Katie and Courtney are up there rapping. Rapping. So the guests sit down to eat. They like the first dish, but the second dish had a beet product in it, and the guests said they don't want beets on their preference sheets. So Matt looks it up and he says, oh, shoot. So whatever he used, it was a byproduct of beets. And he felt really bad. So he ended up having to make them another. Well, he said he made them another dish, but I didn't see where he brought another dish out. Maybe that was something that they just didn't show on the episode. But anyway, they made it through dinner. And then the guests again was staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning. And Katie, guess what you doing? Staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning with them. So it was another late night for her. And Katie is feeling like she messed up and made a mistake by letting Delaney leave. Of course you do, dummy. Don't ever do that again. You feeling it now. So she had been working for 19 hours straight. Unbelievable. So this night, she doesn't go to bed till 4 o'clock and she has to get back up at 8:30. So the guest didn't really like the breakfast Matt made the next morning, and he got really flustered. And then this is the last episode, episode 17, where breakfast was going into episode 17. Breakfast was bad. The men go jet skiing and the ladies are in a hot tub. The ladies walk around looking for service because Katie was supposed to be up there taking care of them, but she's so busy running around trying to do laundry, running around like a chicken with the head cut off. She's not even paying attention to the guests, and she's starting to drop the ball on her level of service. And they're just like, what's going on? Like, we're in the hot tub, we want drinks, there's nobody up here paying attention to us. Like, we paying too much money for y'all to be doing this. So Charity, I would call her Charity because that was her name on damn Greenleaf. Deborah, I think that's her name. Deborah Winans. Yeah. So she goes down, Matt, and sees Matt. Matt goes and gets Katie. So Katie comes up. She's apologetic. She takes their drink orders. She realizes that she's fucking up at this point because she's tired. So anyway, moving right along. Courtney goes with Malia to set up the beach picnic because they're going to have a beach picnic for everybody today. And Matthew is being needy, asking Katie what to make for the picnic. And Katie is stressed because she has a million things to do. And stroking his ego just isn't a part of her level of things that she needs to do today. She already forgot to get the poor ladies drinks. Now she running around still trying to get this picnic together. She ain't got time to be talking to Matthew and his dealing with his bullshit. So the guests go to the beach picnic and they enjoy the scenery and the food. Then they take the guests back and they get ready for dinner. This is the last dinner on the boat. So the guests like the dinner, and Martin, the chief officer, gives Lloyd a position on another boat, and he feels so much better now that he knows he has a position once this charter season is over. So good job, Lloyd. Finally, you don't have to feel stressed out, and you can move forward knowing that everything gonna be a-okay. So again, it's the third night. Katie up till 4:30 in the morning. The guests are up playing cards, drinking, and Katie don't go to bed till 4:38, and she sleeps in actually for the next morning, and Courtney handles breakfast by herself, which was great because I know Katie was tired as hell. But again, her own doing. I bet you she will never, ever, ever, ever do that shit again. So the guests leave the boat and they left them a really good tip, which I'm so thankful that the Black people left the best tip. So they got $1,800 per person, which, from what I've seen in the last seasons is really good because most people give them like anywhere between $1,200 to $1,400. So to give them $1,800 a person, I thought that was real amazing. Thank you, Black people. We are awesome. But anyway, moving right along, Luca, the quarantine chef, comes on the boat to meet Captain Sandy, and as the crew and everybody are getting ready to go and hang out for the night. Which I was like, why is he even here? Like, why is he getting any camera time? You were in quarantine just in case somebody fucked up. Nobody fucked up, so you don't need to even be on the show. Like, you're not even going to be a prospect for the next season, probably. So. And then he seemed like he probably would have been a jerk. Like, he had an attitude. He didn't even come on the boat vibing with anybody. So I just feel like him coming on the boat was just very unnecessary. But anyway, the crew goes out to dinner with the captain. The deck crew makes a card for Malia, and they all go back to the boat and drink and hang out. So then they all go to bed. Then they have to get up early because they decided that they're going to go to Splits. I don't know what Splits is, but basically they rented a house and they all were going to hang out with each other now that the charter season is over because they really enjoyed each other that much that they really built like a bond and a friendship. So they go to this Splits place. They're getting themselves together to go to this Splits place that they rented, and everyone says their goodbyes to Captain Sandy, then head to the Splits place. And the producers asked what happened in Split, and no one wanted to say. They said what happens in Splits stays in Splits. So I was like, okie dokie, what y'all done did up in the Splits? So now we're at the Below Deck finale. So they talk about David wanting to hook up with Malia and getting shot down, then wanting to hook up with Delaney. And so they ask everyone's relationship status, and they discover Malia is now dating Jake, the chief engineer of the boat, which was very handsome. It's a very handsome guy. So good for you, Malia. You done moved on from the little corny little chef. Great job. You done dated up. So then they recap Matt and his antics with the injury and when he quit at the beginning and bailed on the team. And then they recap Lexi and all her rudeness. Child, Lexi, she will never be on this show again. And if you look at her Instagram, like she thinks she really does real life. This broad thinks that she is some type of celebrity and she really thinks she the shit, but she is not. You never see who's really taking the pictures of her. And she just basic as all get up. So she should have done her job to stay on this show. But now you will never see the light of TV again with your foolishness unless it's Bad Girls Club or some stupid shit like that. So Andy asked Sandy about her asking Katie to give Lexi a chance. And she says if she had seen her behavior, she would have fired Lexi well before then. And then she goes back to when Captain Sandy had to let go of then they go back to when Captain Sandy had to let go of Lexi. Then someone asked, why did they defend Matt over Lexi, talking about the crew? And they said Matt actually apologized genuinely, and Lexi didn't, because Lexi didn't give a damn about them. Lexi would say stuff to their face, and then in her confessionals, call them broke and all this other bullshit, and say how much she really hated all of them and how she can't wait to get off the boat. So she got herself fired, and frankly, nobody wanted to work with her because she was such a damn killjoy. So I'm glad that she was gone. And I can't even imagine having to actually work with her like everybody on the boat did. So so basically Lexi was a lost cause. So Lexi kept saying on social media she got a bad edit and she wasn't that bad. Girl, I'm so sick of y'all in this bad edit crap. Can't nobody piece together you being mean that much. Okay? It wasn't nothing good. Like there is no way that anybody can piece together that behavior that you exhibited. Girl, you are just a trash and rude ass human being. Just accept it and move on. It is what it is. So then they discussed Katie letting two stews go and being stressed out. Delaney says she was in quarantine for Deck, but she had to come on for Stu. And Katie felt like having Delaney on the boat stressed her out because it caused her more stress. Girl, but you ain't get no damn sleep. I know that's stressful. I'd rather be a not tired person with a little bit of stress than tired and overly stressed. Pick your struggle, sis. Pick your struggle. So Malia says she thinks Katie should have kept Delaney on the boat, but she stands by Katie on the decision she made. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't, Malia. Stop being fake. Tell her, bitch, you made the wrong decision. You should have kept Delaney on the boat and you're stupid. But hey, you live and you learn, friend. Just do better next time. That's what I would have told her. That's an honest friend right there. You just being your little fake ass self, Malia. So it is what it is. So Delaney is in Hawaii doing day charter boats now. So she's back to doing what I guess she was doing before this season. So they talk about Captain Sandy getting flustered with Malia because she didn't throw the crew under the bus. Malia said it was just a miscommunication. Everyone still talks to each other daily and has a good relationship, and a great season was had by all. So this season of Below Deck, I thought it was really cool to finally see some people of color on the boat. And not only did they have one person of color, they had two. So they had a male deckhand, and then they had a female for the interior, which it was really nice to see some different representation. Kudos to Bravo for that. And it's really interesting to see that in that type of industry of like high-end service, giving people those opportunities. So I was glad to see it. I love to see it. I hope they continue to have that type of multicultural existence on these shows, where it makes sense. Okay, let's be clear. Let's do it where it makes sense, not to fill a quota, but where it makes sense for entertainment purposes. Okay, so I will be coming back to review the new season of Below. This is Below Deck Med. Now Below Deck is on with my favorite captain and stud of the sea, Captain. Ooh, child, I can't even get I can't even get it out. He's my favorite, and I just forgot his name that quick. This is old age, okay? Old age. So the captain on Below Deck, he's my favorite. Okay. So I cannot wait to see him. He wasn't on the first episode, but he will be back for the second episode, hopefully, because the new captain is on there. He seemed a little weird, and I don't know what's going on with him. But anyway, I'll be back to review Below Deck tomorrow, so y'all stay tuned, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out, because I'm tired.